right, starting a new recording.
Great, another hangout.
It is time for the DAOur. Awesome hangout today, guys. So I'll do a quick I'll summarize what we're gonna expect really quick from this DAOur. We have a pretty full agenda today. After the summarization of the closed and active proposals, we're going to have the candidates of the DAO director election come up here to speak. After that, a discussion about the Tipping for Aavegotchi community apps snapshot proposal. Following that, we will have CEO of Octav Onboarding, Matthew B., come up to present, and following that, finally, a Strategotchi update with Lagin. So that should be our order of events today. Like I said, pretty full. Let's get right to it. So we have one closed proposal from this week called Unity Defense of Aave, the SIG prop, by Flame, and it was July 11th through July 25th. The quorum was met with 11 million ghost. However, the final results were 50.09% in favor and 49.91% opposed. Because there needs to be at least a 10% difference, I believe that means this proposal will be reposted until we as a community decide. So jump into this thread here. Let's see. Defense of Aave, do some more research, and let's get this one either passed or rejected by the DAO when it gets reposted. So yeah, let's get a definitive answer on that one. So for active proposals, we have Gotchi Jane Battleverse Demo, an open source Battleverse built with Godot. It is in core prop. And the link for that one is right there. It's by White
If
Ranger.
anyone could go vote on that. Yeah, I need like 3% more for quorum, I believe.
Yep, it's almost met. It's currently sitting at 8.8 million out of 9 million ghost voting power, with 81% in favor of the proposal. So yes, if you haven't voted on this one yet, you have 3 days left. It goes until the 30th. Thank you, White Ranger. So that's that one. Rarity Farming Season 9 is in core prop at the moment. It is linked right here in the chat. It's by Cryptogotchi, July 22nd through July 31st. There's 4 days left on this one. The quorum is at 7.1 million out of 9 million. So, not quite met yet, and we're at 96% in favor so far, so we just need some more votes for that one to pass. And yes, most of us are pretty much in agreement that that one is going to pass. Next, we have the replacement DAO director election. And do we have the candidates in the house for that one? We have Aavegotchi.eth up here on the stage. Welcome, Aavegotchi.eth. After this one, we, yes, and Fifu is here. Perfect. So we will have you guys talk a little bit about your experience with Aavegotchi and Web3. And Musashi13 is invited. GM Fifu. Who wants to start? I guess we'll start with... We should start with probably Aavegotchi.eth. You are currently in the lead right now. How do you feel about that?
Hello. Hello, friends. So I'm actually very, let's say, enthusiastic, and I feel thank you very much for your support. And if I'm to be elected, I will always be in touch with the other directors, be active and responsive, and of course, diligently vote according to the DAO will. Thank you very much for your support. That was all.
Awesome. Yeah. And how long have you been with Aavegotchi?
I think from September 2020, when it first made their, let's say, Ghost slash Die coin. And I think I participated first in the second wave, I think, of items, the ones that were on Ethereum network. So been here for a while. Started with doing a lot of, let's say, APIs to crawl the bazaar for good listings and so on. So that's how I actually started. I'm a programmer, so I started from the tech side of things. Yeah, so
Yeah, awesome.
that is my
Yeah. And your username used to be first Aavegotchi, as far as I'm aware, and then it changed to
yeah.
Aavegotchi DAOur.
Actually, my name was different at the beginning. It was my old let's say gaming tag. So I'm still first Aavegotchi, but the other way around, Aavegotchi first.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Awesome. That is Aavegotchi.eth with currently 45% of the voting power in the election as of now. Next up, we have FIFU, and FIFU is second runner up for the election. Welcome, FIFU.
Hello. Yeah, so first of all, I wanted to thanks everyone who voted for me so far. I'm second, but who knows? It's just a sick prop. But the one thing I'm pretty sure is that all the four candidates are pretty strong, solid candidates. Everyone was there for, like, I'm not gonna say forever, but I've been there since Antoine, and I think it's pretty much the same for everyone. So I'm not well. I trust any of the candidate who is going to be elected, and yeah, that's. I think that's all for it. I'm same Aavegotchi, first Aavegotchi. I'm also a developer. I did Verse Analytics. I did Gotchi Swap with PG last year for Voltron. And yeah, and lately I've been I represented the community at ETC, and I will do that again at Gamescom, thanks to the Blockchain Game Alliance, along with Mr. Seb and Maxi Crouton. If I may just say something more, um, I'm just going to share a document because this week I just wanted to have a bit more insight about how is it going. Inside the multi-sig, there were a lot of discussion regarding the quota between directors about how much signings and much do each year and all that stuff. So I found a multi-site, it's called. It's a DApp for safe wallets that gave me a bunch of information. So if basically the first surprise I had is that the director signs more than 200 transactions over the last rolling year, which is a lot, and we need to thank them for that because basically they delivered. And apart from there are no names on the document, it's only wallet address. I didn't want it to name people anyway, so it's just wallets. If you want to connect the dot with name, you can. I did not make the effort. And so far, yes, so two wallets haven't, one has signed absolutely nothing, one other has signed just really a few transactions. So I guess it's clear. One has signed only 32 of 200, and one has signed only 1 or 2 of 200. So yeah, at least there are some lags. The main issue I found when I look at all that data is that basically, and I think we can name him, over the 211 transactions, 210 were initiated by Maxi Crouton. And I really think there is an issue with the directors regarding that fact. I don't think it's normal that there is only one director that initiates all transactions. I think for a community that thinks decentralization and all that stuff, it's kind of a single point of it's a point of centralization. The fact that we have 9 directors and only one that seems to be able to initiate the transaction, or that has really took the lead to do that. And basically, as an investor in Aavegotchi, I'm not satisfied by the situation. Maxi Crouton delivered an incredible job this year doing this stuff. And I'm not saying the 9 directors should all be in capacity to do this job, to initiate transactions. But either we need to have 2 types of directors, like 3 or 4 of them that have the ability and that are supposed to sign transaction, and we pay them more well, not to sign, but to initiate transactions. And these 3 or 4 directors, we pay them more. Or basically, we decide all directors should also have a quota regarding the number of transactions they are going to initiate over the year. But basically, I don't like the situation. I just wanted to state that. I'm not saying that if I'm elected from the first day, I'm going to initiate transaction, because I don't think I will be able to do that. But to me, it's an issue, and it's a point that needs to be addressed, and we need to talk about it. That's it for me. Sorry, took
Yeah,
sometimes.
thank you for that perspective. It's definitely a good point to bring up. It's definitely worth addressing. Yep, as Coderdan said. Yeah, it's one director shouldn't be doing most of the work for the directors. Rotation would matter, and that is, yeah. Thank you so much for that, and glad to see you running in the election. Thank you. Let's see. Next we have T-Bird. T-Bird in the house. Welcome.
Hey, GM, everybody. How's it going?
How are you?
Can y'all hear me?
How you feel? Yep, I can hear you. You're a little bit quiet for me. I can turn you up on mine. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to add. I do agree that all the directors should be, actively participating equally and taking initiative to learn more and initiate some transactions when they need to be, so we're not bogging down one person. But yeah, like I said, if I'm elected, I'll get a new ledger, and I've always been around in the community. I've been on Thrive Coin board and Gotcha Greeters. I'm always diligent with my signing and take my time, but always available. So I appreciate everybody's votes, and also, yeah, just really support everybody else that's running for the position. We got a great team, so appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome. And how long have you been with Aavegotchi? For
Oh
those
man,
who
I'm the
don't know.
founder. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I just probably like September 2020, I guess. I got on the pre-sale, and yeah, this has been my first Discord that I really joined in, and yeah, I'm Aavegotchi for life, to the grave.
Yeah, there we go, another OG. And you have a lot of experience here in this community and with Web3 in general.
Oh, was that a question?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my phrasing is a little off. Have you been with Web3 for a while too? Like in general?
Really since September of 2020. So
Yeah.
mostly do photography and run some sailing charters. Right now I'm going through some cancer treatment, so doing well with that, and being a DAO director would keep something on the horizon for me to stick around for.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah. Thank you, T-Bird.
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Love you.
All right. Awesome. Next we have Musashi13. Musashi, welcome.
Hello, hello, how are you?
Yeah, last but not least, yeah, Musashi, tell us about how long you've been with Aavegotchi and what your experience here looks like.
Also came in, at the beginning around the same time as T-Bird. Got in when before the sale started, and when we were just talking about it all. Enjoyed all the alpha testing that all the agents were doing. That's always a good signal to look around and be like, oh, look, another alpha agent.
Yeah.
Been in Web3 since 2019. Followed the Bitcoin white paper since it came out. Have always been into alternative societies all around, getting the heck out of our regular systems that have been created for us, and been a beta dApp tester and pen tester for quite a few projects. I helped manage quite a few treasuries, including Doing Good, Metagame, Meta Builders, quite a few multi-sigs, and can vouch for at least one other person running for this spot, T-Bird. He has helped manage a couple multi-sigs that I am also a part of, and I can say that he's an awesome signer, a quick signer, and is thorough. Never had any like big mishaps with T-Bird. So
Awesome. Thank you for your perspective here. So, happy to see all the candidates. We have a really strong group of people running for the DAO directors. Thank all of you for showing up today. And yeah, so we should be moving on now. Next in the agenda, we have Octave. Is anyone here in the audience currently from Octave? Because I know that the plan was to have Matthew B here because Atreus could not make it. Yes, FaZe posted the link for the election, by the way, in the chat. So go vote on that if you have not. Okay, so I don't think that anyone here, that anyone from Octave is currently showing up. I'm going to have to reach out, but oh, Matthew B is here. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi. I didn't see
Hey,
you before. Welcome.
I just arrived. Do you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so
Nice meeting you all.
yep, Matthew B is here to present Octave onboarding for the DAO. So yeah, explain a little bit what that would look like, please.
Yeah, sure. So, okay, I thought we were starting at 11:30, but I'm ready. So yeah, the idea is that Octav is a platform for data analytics. So we help Treasury, like we help to manage Treasury. And the idea is that we can bring transparency to the DAO community. It's really, if you've used any platform like DBank or Zerion, it's really similar to them. But we really focus on the transaction. This is really like our kind of a core. We try to bring transparency to all the transactions that the DAO can do. So you can understand, like, if it was related to one of your proposal, for example, the team can tag the transaction and say this is the transaction that was related to the proposal, and then therefore it brings transparency to the entire DAO. Don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, and then so the idea is that Octav was built. So just to give you a little background about myself, started crypto in 2012. I was a miner at first, and then really jumped into the DeFi world in 2019, and then realized that like tracking everything was kind of a nightmare. So I joined Zapper. Most of you probably know Zapper if you've been around for quite some time. So I joined Zapper to see if we could like kind of like build a treasury page for DAO, and realized it didn't work. So we started Octav, and then the idea is that a lot of DAO, they have to manage a lot of transaction. They have to manage a lot of like community. They need to move asset left and right, and it's not easy to track everything. And there's like new protocol and new token, and new chain now these days, every like days or weeks. So when we started Octav, what we did is we decided to use a machine learning system. So every time you interact with the platform, you can actually train the algorithm. So that's the beauty of this. So every time one of your user go on the platform and tell us like, hey, this is Aavegotchi transaction, or this is like any type of transaction, you're actually training the algo for everyone else. So for example, Roxiano, if like, for example, you're using Octav to tag all your transactions for Aavegotchi, then anyone from the Gotchi ecosystem can go on Octav and they will see their transaction being labeled correctly. And so you can use that for your taxes if you're in an ecosystem like that need taxes, depending on which country you're from. But you can also use that just as like a good way to report and understand what's happening. So a lot of DAO like Paladin or Gearbox or Alchemix, Gelato, all of these DAO are using Octav, and they use Octav to generate report to give to their either their community or their investor or their team, just to understand like where's the money going, where how does the runway look like, and that's it. So it gives you a good idea of that.
Awesome. So it presents a lot of information about like the activity within like what's happening on the protocol.
Exactly. And like, so we cover any transaction type. So like in crypto, we have like deposit and swap and like redraw, but there's also like play kind of a transaction. So for example, on Aavegotchi, if there's like a specific type of transaction, like, hey, this is like, I don't know, like buying something or a stake or a locking token, all this, we can cover that. So it's easier to understand what's happening instead of just like having deposit and withdraw.
Yeah. So it would be like tracking, does it come like from blockchain data? So would it be able to be tied to like
Yeah.
maybe Gotchi chain when that comes out, when it
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah, we cover like 10 chain right now, so all EVM. And it's pretty easy for us. Like as soon as like the chain exists and there's like Explorer for the chain, we can cover it. And then we can track every type of transaction. So like the moment the Gotchi chain exists, we can open it. And the idea is like the earlier the ecosystem jump on Octav, the faster we can kind of train the algorithm, and the faster we can understand like every type of transaction that Gotchi is doing.
Okay, we have a question from Coder Dan. Does it only work for safe multisigs?
No, so it works for any type of addresses. And then right now, if you want, by the way, it's free for everyone to go on, like a little bit like DBank or Zerion. Like you can go on the platform, you can search your address. We will index the address and show you your platform, your portfolio, for all the chain we support. And then after that, you can, if you want to have like exporting your data with a report or exporting your CSV as a transaction, then you need to pay, but the rest is all free. So yeah. So we can cover any AVM chain right now.
Interesting. Awesome.
Like the goal of Octav is really to focus on like bringing transparency to any chain. So we'll be more than happy to have Gotchi, and because we do not like manually integrate everything, so it's not a lot of platform like DBank or Zapper, for example. They will integrate every protocol by itself. So they will kind of like pass a week or two, or you have to ask them like, hey, please, can you integrate this protocol and so on. Because we use a machine learning system, and because we really focus on like the transaction tab, like where all the transaction happen, we actually do not have to integrate stuff. We kind of like let the algo learn the ecosystem and learn the new protocol and learn the new token.
Okay, another question. Can we aggregate multiple safes into a report? For example, if we have 6 across 3 chains?
Yep. So the way it works, so we have unlimited bundle size. To give you an idea, like kind of a funny test we did with Gelato, they had 126 address, and we did a big bundle of all of them. So that's not a problem. You can create a bundle of multiple addresses. And for the chain stuff, as soon as you put an address on Octav, we will look for your address on every chain that exists that we support. So there's no need for, like, example, some platform, some tax platform will ask you like, hey, this is an address you want to have on Ethereum or Polygon. And to me, it doesn't make sense because if you have like an address on Ethereum, your address is also on all the other L2. It's a bit different, like for Safe. I'm well aware of that, but like normally if it's an EOA, it's on all the chains. So we take your address and we just look at all the chain that we support, make sure we track all the transaction that you have.
All right, yeah.
I can look at. Okay, awesome. Any other question? I can take a look also. And by the way, I know if you're jumping on the platform, you can go on apps.octav.fi. Using app will actually let you connect with your wallet. So we use like a wallet connect standard system. You will be able to like look at any address for free. If you want to be able to edit your transaction, so kind of like train the algo, you'll have to sign in because we need to confirm that you own the address. That's the first kind of like verification step. And then if you want to be able to export, then you can mint an NFT. So you can mint the NFT instead of like giving me your credit cards or your email, whatever. I don't need that. You just mint the NFT, and so it's 100% privacy. And so you can like have access to all the premium feature. If you're like big, like with more address, or you want to have like a bit more feature, you can go on the Pro platform. So it's pro.octav.fi. But then you're gonna have to log in with your email. But you have a little bit more access to a few little things that are just specific to pro people. So normally when we work with DAO, for example, like Across or whatever the DAO we work with them, they use a pro platform because they normally want to have more than one person on the account, and they have different type of addresses. So you can use a pro version. And the pro version, you can create an account also for free. You just go on pro.octav.fi and then you put your email and you have your account.
Okay, awesome. So that answers that question. You would suggest the pro account for Aavegotchi DAOur.
That's correct. Yeah. You can be multiple people. So like we can sit down with the team and say like, hey, who need to have access to the pro platform, so we can have multiple people that jump on the platform and can like kind of collaborate together. There's a way to put some notes on the transaction, and you can also create your own category system. So I don't want to go too much into detail, but happy to if needed. But like, if you're a CFO and you have like a way to categorize your transaction for accounting, for example, income, expense, or like stuff like that, you can create this category and you can tag your transaction for this.
So like as a whole, if we have like transactions within our Gotchiverse in our game, and then we have like other transactions on like the trading platform, like called for us it's called the Bazaar, where you like trade, you know, the NFTs and stuff like that. All of those could be different categories.
That's correct. Yeah, you could say these are like trading category, these are like, I don't know, expense or whatever. So you could really decide which category you want to put for each transaction.
Awesome. Yeah. Welcome, Lagan, to the stage. Did you have a question or just popping on?
Hello. No, somebody invited me. I just accepted the invite.
Okay,
going.
gotcha. Sounds good. All
So
right.
yeah, that's the idea. We work with a lot of DAO. Like you can see right now, I can share the link later on. But we did a proposal for Cross, and we did a proposal for Gearbox. We have a proposal for Metronome. So like we really like want to work with DAO. Like these are really like our focus, and so we can do the entire flow of like going through the governance and really go from there. I know Mark Zeller from Aave is one of your advisor, or like a pretty big Aave fan. He's also an investor in Octav, so it's like kind of like that's why we met Aavegotchi team, and we've met a bunch of you guys. I don't know if you are on the call because you all have your Anon name, but I've met a bunch of Aavegotchi people at the serverless conference at ETC. So yeah, we're more than happy to like do the proposal on the governance and all of that.
Awesome.
Oh, I see some question. Oh, there you go. Mr. Seb was there. Hey, Mr. Seb. So I don't know if there's any other question or anything we can, and we're more than happy to do a demo with the CFO or anyone that is going to be using it, because it's quite complex what you can do with it. But anyone on the community can also jump on the platform and play with it and see how it goes for their own wallet.
Okay, we have a question. What would the proposed cost of this integration be?
Yeah. So like we decided to be a bit different versus like other tax platform or stuff like that, like database, where they charge you per transaction. We don't believe it makes sense, especially for a game, because you have a lot of transaction like on Polygon, I'm pretty sure. So we charge per addresses. Only the addresses that you need to track and need to get the report out of it. We charge $360 per address per year. And then so depending on how many addresses, normally people have like 6, 7, maybe 10 addresses on their treasury. And you can also still have a lot of address in your address book to tag them to be able to have a name on these transactions. But if it's not your addresses, you don't pay for them. There's also like if it's 100 transaction or less, it's free. And yeah, so and then we can work also, for example, Gelato, again, it's a good example. It's one of our good customer, but they had a lot of addresses to track, and they were like, yeah, it doesn't make sense to pay that amount of money. So we kind of did a bundle with them, a partnership with them with long-term vision of like, okay, well, let's reduce the price per year, but we're going to lock you for like 2-3 years. So we work together closely. So it's really something. I don't know how many address Gotchi DAO has like in the treasury, but like more than happy to sit down and evaluate. But like the normal price is 360 per addresses.
Okay, yeah. So if we had like a set amount of people on the account for Octave to represent our DAO, those would be the addresses that would be counted?
Yeah, exactly. If you have like 5 address of the treasury, then it's good. But like if you have the address that just signed the multisig, and you don't need necessarily to track them and have the CSV and everything, we don't need, like, we can add them to the platform, but we won't charge you for that.
Okay, question, is it 100 free transactions per address or per account?
Per address. Because normally, like, if you have like a small address where you like, I don't know, you deposit some money from another address and then you send that to your Coinbase account or stuff like that, you don't want to pay a full like $360 for like an address with like 10 transactions. So, and keep in mind, like our system work with machine learning. So the more transaction we have, the better it is. So like the small addresses with 100 transaction are free for everyone.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, anyone else have any other questions for Matthew B?
All right, I'll take the silence for
Yep.
no question.
All right, awesome. Thank you for coming on today.
It's a pleasure. I'll stick around and listen to the rereading of the call.
Yeah, next steps, probably we would create a proposal having to do with
Yep.
whether Octave, is going to be used with us or not, and then we'll have the DAO vote on that. So we'd love to have you or another member of Octave back during the voting period, perhaps. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, sure. And like, so we have like a proposal that it's all already written in all this. So happy to like work with anyone that is responsible for proposal. And we can like really be quick on the proposal, make sure we follow your guideline. And Atris, which is Andrew, is like our responsible for this. So he's like really well aware of how proposal work. So he can sit with any member of you. I think we already have a Telegram with some of the DAO member. So we can work with them to do the proposal, and then more than happy to jump back while the vote is happening to like answer any question or anything.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Yep. Great.
All right.
Thanks a lot for having me today.
Yeah, of course. Yep, thanks again. And we will see you in the future. Or Atreus. Okay. Next, moving on to the next discussion. Did I skip one? I think I skipped one. We haven't covered tipping for Aavegotchi community apps yet with Aavegotchi.eth.
Hello again.
Hi, sorry about that.
About, no problem. So about this proposal, it's a small proposal we've been thinking of for quite a while, but we actually decided to do it once with the Yannick's decision to actually stop Fireball GG or stop the development on it. And we thought it as a, let's say, a means to reassure the community projects that they are supported by the DAO and maybe change the directive and narrative to maybe a more community involvement in the future. Let's see how it goes. So me and the other participants for this proposal, the Adventure.io, Wearable Stats, Versanalytic, Gotchi Swap, and the Aavegotchi Land. We are thinking of small bounties and aka tips. So we're thinking that there'll be enough for the community, these community projects to be maintained by at least those following next month, 6 months more exactly. And maybe this will be also an incentive for more future features to be developed, fixes, and maybe other builders to join the community. And if this proposal goes online, it creates kind of a precedent for other user community projects. Maybe we can create more bounties and so on. Related to the amount is quite well, nowhere near close to the time value spent, but I think it should be more than enough to pay for the hosting and domain costs. Maybe in the future, I was thinking that the big features from all the community apps can be integrated in the V2 design. And but at the same time, I was thinking, okay, we asked Pixelcraft Coder Dan to be integrated, and then I thought, okay, but this will take a lot of dev hours, and maybe the community apps will continue in the future, basically to ease the pressure on the Pixelcraft part of things, and Pixelcraft will deliver the core parts, and of course we take it over and do the best job we can do to let's say cover the parts that are not addressed in the main app, because everyone wants something different and more. So yeah, hopefully this proposal gets voted, and thank you for the support. We will definitely appreciate the tipping.
Yeah, of course. It's definitely essential to support the ongoing projects like the web tools and stuff. This is definitely a proposal that goes more directly into what something we would have provided with the Aavegotchi grant program that was proposed a while back. But yeah, it's to support the ongoing projects and stuff. Yeah, that's a really important thing.
We asked for feedback if it fits in that area, and it was not fitting that area. So that's why we've decided to come with a proposal directly to the DAO.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. One other thing is that most of the projects are like 3-4 years old in other disguises. Some of them are actually 4 years old. So these projects will just live on also with the help of the DAO if it gets accepted and voted.
Yep. Currently, we have 93% in favor, but it was posted just this morning. The quorum is right now at 1.6 million out of 9 million. We have until August 11th. So vote on the tipping for Aavegotchi community apps if you have not yet. Thank you, Aavegotchi.eth, for coming to explain
Good.
that a little more.
I see a question from Ace.
Ah, yes.
So yeah, so the proposal is meant only for, let's say, rolling the things forward. We will do, as the proposal states, we will do our best effort to integrate maybe other features and do and make other features available in the best effort manner. But this is just for the, let's say, uh, vitals of the community, to keep it alive.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And anyone else have any other questions while we're talking about this right now? If not, we can move on to the Strategotchi update. Thank you, Aavegotchi.eth, for speaking about this proposal. So next, we have the Strategotchi update with Laggin. Laggin in the house. Welcome.
Yes, yes. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing?
Great, you?
Got some updates for you guys today. I just want to share what we've been up to in the last couple of months. Give you guys a little bit of an idea about how we've been structuring the workflow and where we are at in each sort of item or category of this project that we've been working on. So the project is kind of like it contains like three main components right now. One being the SDK, the other being the creation and coding of all the weapons logic. And then the final component that me and Nomi, the lead developer, have been working on in tandem is the creation of the actual, the new game mode, which is going to be a cooperative multiplayer mode, which will also be able to, you'll be able to play as a single player mode as well. So with the SDK, basically that's like my own personal project that I've been working on single-handedly. And I've completed about, I'd say around 2/3 of the modeling so far. So that's looking good. And I'm glad to say that as of today, Nomi has finished coding all of the weapons logic. So what we have right now is we call it a playground. It's just a sort of like game scene that we created where you have unlimited moves and you can just go in and test all the different weapons. So we're going to be releasing that probably within the next week or two for the community to test out. And I'm going to give you guys a preview of it right now and show you what's going on. And then after that, I'm going to run you through a little bit of what the new game mode is going to look like. So let me share my screen.
Awesome, bring it on.
All right, let's figure out how to do this. Share my screen. All right, I think that's what right there. Can you guys see the Unity window right now?
I can see it.
Okay. All right, so this is our playground, okay? And basically, like, don't try not to judge like on visuals and sounds and everything like that right now. This is simply like for the coding logic. We've turned off most of our old animations and like we're using placeholder like VFX for all the weapons and stuff like that. And even the UI is like super, as you can see, placeholdery. So in this little demo scene, you can move around your gotchis and you can move as many times as you want. And then you have a spawn enemy button here that can let you spawn enemies. You can change weapon and you can spawn the boss, which I'll get into towards the end. So the change weapon, basically, if you click on the character right now, you'll see that he has a mechanical arm and a lick tentacle equipped. And if I change that, then it'll just cycle through to 2 new weapons. So you can just keep cycling, and it goes in like a fixed order, basically. So yeah, let me show you some of these weapons and what they do. Okay. So we have the Portal Mage Black Axe here. And you can see that each weapon is doing a different amount of damage according to its rarity type. And it shows you which tiles are being targeted. So for the Black Axe, we're imagining it sort of like Kratos' axe in God of War, where you throw it and it comes back and it does double damage, going and coming, basically. Okay, and then let me add some more enemies here so I can show you the regular Portal Mage axe, and that does like a cleave and a push to multiple enemies. Okay, and what you're seeing right now is that was the boss. Actually, I hit him right now, so I'm gonna end turn and actually show you guys what the boss does real quick. So he's gonna be sort of a problem. He has different sort of attacks. That missile attack that you guys saw earlier is gonna be like missiles that he targets any player anywhere on the map. And on top of that, he has these laser beams.
Ooh.
It's a little bit messy right now. So there's that laser beam.
Whoa.
And then on top of that, it's a little bit difficult to see, but he has an auto attack. So it's going to be difficult to get close to him. The whole point of, or the whole like logic of the way the enemy used to attack you is that he would telegraph his attacks, and you knew exactly what was coming, and you would basically like try to stop the attack. But the boss, if you get too close to him, he's going to come and auto attack you. So there's going to be different ways that you're going to have to try to mitigate that. Basically, there's going to be a new terrain type that's it's called tall grass, which is this thing right here. Again, placeholder graphics. But when you're in the tall grass, you're invisible to the enemy, so you can you're not going to be targeted there, basically. Okay. Let me go through some more weapons here. So the way the weapons work is that they do a damage per rarity. So the rarer it is, the more damage it is. And then some of the weapons have like a unique kind of effect. Like a lot of the melee weapons right now, they just sort of smack you and push you back, and then it does the amount of damage that it would do. But in the future, in the next iteration that we're hoping to do, the difference between, for example, a sushi knife and a royal scepter is that the sushi knife would inflict a different status effect. It would inflict bleed, and the scepter was going to inflict stun, for example. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Out of the like all of the weapons that I'm going to show you right now, a lot of them may look like they're doing similar things, but that's just because of that little detail right there. So here's the gun, for example. It's just a typical range shot, and it looks pretty similar to the common wizard staff, but just does less damage. Okay. Let me try to find some of the unique ones right now. Okay, the energy gun is a good one. So the energy gun, it shoots a laser beam, and the laser beam goes through any objects, any targets, basically, and each consecutive target gets dealt like a little bit less damage. Okay. So if you have a bunch of like enemies lined up, you can kind of get in position and like damage all of them. And then I'll show you guys the lasso, which is another unique one. The lasso is going to pull. It'll pull the enemy right towards you and out of its line of target. And you can also use the lasso to pull yourself towards an immovable object, like a tree. Okay. Again, guys, placeholder graphics here, like the shooting like a little projectile bullet right now, but in the actual graphics, it would be shooting more like a rope. Okay, let's see what other weapons we have here. Okay, the legendary wizard staff, that's another unique one. Let me get in position so I can show you what it does. So the legendary wizard staff, it will shoot. My friendly Gotchi here is getting like a green highlight around him as I target this enemy. And so what it does is if you have friendlies adjacent to you while targeting, it's going to heal them. Okay. Other weapons like the what is it called? The spirit sword will do something similar, but it'll shield. It'll apply like a temporary shield to any nearby adjacent friendlies. Here's a cool one, the Witchy Wand. The Witchy Wand is a ranged weapon that when fired, swaps locations with your target. So here's another, I'll do it again. Oh, that guy died, so he didn't swap. There, boom. And then you have the parasol, which is sort of like a sniper that, oh, got a little bug there. Ah, no, Unity crashed. Okay, well, it basically, I need to quit Unity. Oh, Lordy. So what the sniper does, the parasol does, is the farther away you are from the target, the more damage it does. So you want to be as far as possible with that. Okay. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna quit Unity. Not responding. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about the new game mode and what's going to be different this time around since, well, this thing starts to load up. So one of the main changes that's coming to the new mode is that now you're still going to be harvesting Alchemica, but instead of harvesting just Alpha, we're going to be harvesting all 4 Alchemicas. And the point being that you need to use that harvest to upgrade the altar. That's the main loop of the mode, and the goal is to. Sorry, am I still there? Do you guys hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. I didn't hear anyone talking. So the main point of the mode is you're trying to upgrade your altar to level 9, and at a certain point around altar level 5 or 6, the boss is going to come in, and he's going to cause a lot of problems for you, basically. So you're going to be going around, you're going to be harvesting the Alchemica, and you're also not going to know what type of Alchemica is going to come out of the ground unless you have a specific type of Gotchi with good eyes, for example. The eye color and the eye shape is going to be related to your harvesting ability. So mythical eye Gotchis are going to be able to see the type of Alchemica available in the tiles surrounding them. Other Gotchis are going to have to guess. So basically, you'll know that this tile is harvestable. You'll place your harvester on it, and then when the stuff comes out, you'll see the color, and you'll know, okay, I'm getting FUD, or I'm getting Kek. And there's going to be a certain recipe. Let me just open this back up again. There's going to be a certain recipe for each upgrade of the altar that will show you when you hover over it. So you need this much Kek, this much Alpha, etc., to get to level 2. And one thing you'll also be able to do is anybody on the team is going to be able to deposit all of the collected Alchemica into the altar to get it ready for the upgrade, basically. And so you don't waste it, because just like in the demo, if you lose the harvester, then you lose everything that you collected in it, basically. So you're going to be harvesting. Somebody's going to be sitting next to the middle, and he's going to be depositing into the altar and then upgrading it, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let me show you a little bit of that. Excuse the like super rough UI right here. Again, super placeholder graphics right now. Let me put these guys down. Okay. So
We don't
here's the
see anything
altar.
yet.
Yeah, I don't think you're sharing screen, dude.
Am I not sharing screen right now? Let's share your screen. There we go. Screens, entire screen. There we go. Okay. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you hover over this altar here, which is like a placeholder graphic again, and the bottom right, you'll see the little tooltip pops up, and it tells you to get from level 1 to level 2, you need this amount of that, etc. And so one of your, you can deposit and you can upgrade in the altar. These are 2 actions. So I'll give you guys a quick demo here. I'll put a couple of harvesters down. And one more, and then turn. And there you go. So you collected. And then if I go here and I press deposit at altar, you have to be next to it to do it, and click on it. Then you notice that all the harvesters were emptied. And now I have 2 FUD and 1 FOMO deposited into my altar for the upgrade. And as you upgrade the altar and as you progress through the level, you'll start to get your upgrade points for your character. So similar to last time where you were upgrading your character in between realms, this time you're gonna be doing your upgrades within the level itself, basically. So each time you upgrade your altar, every player gets 1 upgrade point that they can put towards health or movement or either one of their weapons. Okay, and yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So in the next month, basically, we said we were gonna be delivering around the end of August, so we have a month, and in that time, we're just gonna be finishing up the remainder of the modeling, and I'm working really closely with the animator right now. We just hired a new guy actually, who's doing some really cool animations. All of those animations and VFX that we're putting into this is all going to be available with the SDK. So you guys are going to be like, coders are going to be able to go in and create really awesome creations using all of our graphics. And yeah, we're going to be finalizing right now that we're done with the weapons. Nomi's kind of moved on to doing the game scene and figuring out the final details for this this new game mode. And yeah, so expect something probably within a couple weeks, like the playground, and then a couple weeks after that, we should be releasing the full SDK, followed by the game itself.
Awesome. Amazing. Thank you for
Show you a
the
little bit of
demonstration. That was super
the
cool.
wearable.
And I'm glad it worked. The screen sharing worked for this call. That was awesome.
Yeah. And so here's our weapons document as well. You can see some of our like notes that we did.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so it's gonna be cool. Some of the weapons are pretty cool, like the link cube, for example, it's like an omni targeting, so you can hit anywhere on the map with it. And if there's enemies that are adjacent to each other, it's gonna do like a chain of lightning through them. And then no, sorry, that's the Mudgeon Diamond. The link cube, it does like an area of effect, also omni targeting, but it does full damage to the target the tile that you targeted, but then the surrounding tiles get like a random amount of damage as well. And cool stuff like that, basically. So yeah, just stay tuned, and soon you guys are going to be able to play with this playground and give us some feedback, hopefully.
Yes, I can't wait.
Cool. Well, if there's
Yep.
any questions, that's it for me, guys.
You're still sharing your screen, by the way, in case you want to turn that off. There were two questions in the chat that I saw. I don't know if you got to them. Phantasma said, so the idea is to play with our gotchis and they will get all these equipment bonuses. Will high BRS gotchis just have an easier time at playing the game, or what is the end game / meta around that?
Yeah, I mean, high BRS is definitely going to be. It's definitely BRS is a calculation that's it's in a couple of different calculations for damage, health, certain things like that. I forget right now off the top of my head, but yeah, you're going to be playing with your own gotchis, and they're gonna feel different basically. So you're going to have the weapons that you have, and you're going to have the stats according to your gotchis, BRS and other things like that. And even the eyes are going to affect your gameplay. So you're going to see different things, and you're going to be able to, like with different eye shapes, you're going to be able to have the chance to do like critical placements. So if you place a harvester and you have a really like, if you have like mythical eye shape, for example, you may be able to get like a critical placement that your harvester now produces 2 units of alk per round instead of 1, for example. So stuff like that.
Nice.
And
one more, just as what if map does not generate 4 open space tiles for an altar to be placed, or does it exist on every map and you don't have to place it?
yeah, no,
That was from
it's
Musashi.
pre-built in. It's pre-built into the map. So
Alright.
we're not gonna do procedural generated maps anymore. We're gonna have 2 or 3 like handmade sort of maps. We're working sort of with 12 by 12 right now, which is in the previous one it was 8 by 8. So it's like it's more than double, I think, the surface area that we had in the first one. So yeah, it's just a little the single player mode. The co-op mode is another like little contained sort of game. It like start the game, you end the game, and that's it. You know. Once this is done and the coding is all done for the weapons and the animations and all that stuff, then we hope to get into the real like meat of it, which is the PvP battle stuff. So yeah, one step at a time, and we're just yeah, we hope to get there.
Cool, man. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
Yep. Awesome.
All right, guys.
Thanks again.
All right, we have
And
another question here.
is there another question?
Yeah, a new one coming in right now from Phantasma.
When there are competitions, owners of a lot of equipment will have great advantage. Not sure how well that will sit with everybody when it's a competition about strategy. Have you thought about this, or if BRS equipment won't be as overpowered as I'm fearing?
Yeah, we have thought about it, definitely. And then there's like a lot of factors that go into it. So, for example, um, like rarer, more valuable, expensive items, let's say, they do a lot more damage. But at the same time, this game is not necessarily just about doing damage. It's about being precise and strategic and tactical. So if you have like a big, huge, it's like the difference between like whatever, like a scalpel and a jackhammer, basically. If you have a bunch of harvesters placed all over the place, and you only have these super devastating weapons, then you're going to also damage your own equipment. You might damage your own friendlies as well. So there's sort of a balance like that. And you may not want to equip like your most expensive stuff, for example. Even if you have like a bunch of godlikes, you might equip one godlike and one maybe legendary or uncommon weapon just for the effect that that you were going for, you know. And you'll be able to upgrade the power of those weapons throughout the game itself. So there's a little bit of balance in that sense. But again, this is like we see it as like a sort of like not a final thing, in that the main like meat of the game that we hope to get to is the PvP multiplayer mode. So this is gonna get us one step closer to that. We're gonna have the infrastructure built for multiplayer. We're gonna have had all of the, like I said, the art and animations and weapons logic coded. So from then we can really think about creating a proper gaming experience that's gonna be like satisfying everyone. This one is sort of like a level 2 demo game, if you will.
All right. And I believe that is the time for this call to be over with. Thank you again, Lagan, and thank you everybody who came on to speak today and who participated in this call, and everyone listening. I will be posting some YouTube videos, one of the Hangout and one of the DAO call, and yeah, I guess we can wrap this up.
Awesome, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Everybody have a nice weekend. Peace out.
Peace.